Halloween can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. The Celts celebrated their new year on November 1st, a day which marked the end of summer and the beginning of the dark, cold winter. It was believed that on the night before the new year, on October 31st, the boundary separating life and death was blurred. This was seen as a time in which the ghosts of the dead walked the earth. The Celts believed that this was the best time for druids to make predictions about the future, such as weather predictions. This was important as knowing when the weather would be bad gave people the opportunity to protect their crops, with this being vital to their survival during the winter months. In order to commemorate the event, druids built bonfires where crops and animals were sacrificed to the Celtic deities. People all over the Celtic nations would then gather and build bonfires of their own, where dancing and feasts took place as they celebrated the season of darkness. By 43 AD, most of the Celtic territory had been conquered by the Roman Empire. They ruled the Celtic lands for around 400 years. During this period, the Roman festivals of Feralia and Pomona's Day were combined with the Celtic celebration of Samhain. Feralia is a celebration of the Manes, which are deities believed to represent the souls of deceased loved ones, while Pomona's Day is dedicated to honouring Pomona, who is the goddess of fruit and trees. An apple symbolises Pomona, which might explain why we see people bobbing apples and eating candy apples around Halloween. By the 9th century, Christianity had infiltrated the Celtic lands, where it combined with and replaced many Celtic rituals. In 1000 AD, the Church came up with All Souls' Day. It was similar to Samhain in that it featured bonfires, parades, and involved dressing up in costumes such as angels, devils, and saints. All Souls' Day was also called All Hallows and All Hallowmas, with the night before the celebration, which was the night of Samhain, being called All Hallows' Eve. All Hallows' Eve would eventually go on to become known as Halloween. Halloween was not widely celebrated in America until the second half of the 19th century, when many immigrants moved to America in search of the American dream. Amongst these immigrants were millions of Irish people who were fleeing from the mass starvation and disease which occurred during the Irish potato famine. These immigrants helped popularize Halloween in America. Americans would dress up in costumes and go from door to door asking for either food or money. This evolved into the trick or treat tradition still practiced today. During the 1920s and 30s, many communities began holding Halloween parties, which featured parades and entertainment. However, vandalism became a big problem during Halloween. Families saw the trick-or-treat tradition as an opportunity to avoid having their homes vandalized. They prevented tricks from being played on them by giving children treats. Trick-or-treating can also be traced back to All Souls' Day, as during the festivities, poor families would be given food in return for their prayers. They would often be given pastries called soul cakes if they promised to pray for the individual's dead relatives. The church encouraged people to distribute soul cakes to replace the traditional practice of leaving food and wine for roaming spirits. The practice, which was referred to as going a soulin, was eventually taken up by children who would visit the houses in their neighbourhood and be given food, drink, and money. The tradition of dressing up for Halloween has both European and Celtic roots. People believe that Halloween was when the ghosts of the dead walk the earth, so to avoid being recognised by these ghosts, people would wear masks when they left their homes after dark, so that the ghosts would mistake them for other spirits. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for another video.